guys, I am on the world's largest cruise ship. Today we are taking you on a tour of all of the 18 decks of Wonder of the Seas. Follow along for the journey, and if you like what you see, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We are on ships all the time, bringing you ship tours, cruise news, room tours, and more. We love you for it. Join the JJ crew, and let's go see the ship. We are kicking this tour off here on deck 3. Now, while deck 3 doesn't have a lot, I do just want to show you there's two sides of deck 3. We are currently in the aft section of the elevators. So down here you do have, of course, an elevator bank. That is an entrance to get into the 3rd floor cabins. And then you do have the bottom entrance of the main dining room here. So it is 3 levels. The main dining room is going to be on 3, 4, and 5. This is the 3rd one. We will get in there on an upper level. And then you do have bathrooms here as well. So bathrooms on either side of the elevator bank. Now on the other side of 3 towards the forward, behind these kind of brown sliding walls here, you do have the conference center. So we're gonna jump over there just to see what that other side of the forward section of deck 3 looks like. So let's go. So we made it to the forward bank of elevators on deck 3. So over here you are gonna have more elevators. And then this is gonna be, again, where the conference center will be. So if you are here for a conference or you're here like on a business trip, deck 3 is gonna be the spot where you will find yourself spending a lot of time. You, of course, have the check-in desk right here. And then through those doors are multiple conference rooms. You got bathrooms, again, men's and women's on either side. And then some more stateroom entrances and exits right alongside the elevator bank. We came up a deck here to deck 4. Now this is going to be where you will find one of the neighborhoods, specifically the entertainment place. Now here you do have the Royal Theater. This is, of course, one of the largest theaters at sea, where you're going to see shows like Effectors 2 and the Vocals show. It's going to be those vocal powerhouses. Inside, you're going to see a massive 2-story theater with one of the largest stages I have ever seen in my life. They do Broadway-style shows as well as reviews in this theater. It is 2 stories, and you are definitely going to see some of the best entertainment you could experience here on Wonder of the Seas. Coming out of the theater here, we are in kind of the central area for Entertainment Place. Check out that art. You got that fun flamingo there. That is pretty cool. And then you are going to have several other venues here on deck 4. So one of the first that we're going to check out here is, of course, the attic. This is going to be Royal Caribbean's nightclub. So there will be shows in here, art auctions, as well as the floor transforms into a nightclub space. So lots of opportunities to dance. You do have a bar in here. There's some good comedy in here as well. You got that little stage there. Coming back out here into Entertainment Place, you do, of course, have the stairs that lead to the Royal Promenade. So that will take you up to deck 5. And then right over here, this is the Golden Room. So it is closed right now, but this is actually going to be a part of the casino. So you can kind of see through the glass here, you do have some tables and some slot machines. So this is going to be your more high limit area for the slots. Kind of an extension of the casino, which will be a little bit further down on this level. So rounding the corner here, we do have, of course, the Diamond Lounge. So if you are a Diamond, Diamond Plus, or Pinnacle, this will be the place where you'll be able to come to enjoy some cocktails. Also, check out the concierge in the Diamond Lounge, because they will always be able to help you, especially if you can't get through to customer service. That is the tip if you are Diamond or higher. Also here in Entertainment Place, we do have Studio B. Studio B is going to be the ice skating rink here on board. On a lot of the Royal Caribbean larger ships, they do have ice skating rinks. Here on this ship, they have the show 365. Now on either side of Studio B, you do have hallways that lead you to Casino Royale. So on the left, that's going to be a straight hallway there. On the right, I do want to walk down here because this is going to be where Park West is. Park West is, of course, Royal Caribbean's art gallery on the ship. So if you are an art collector or you're somebody that does take an interest in looking at art, this is going to be a place that you're going to want to come. And then through these doors, you do have Casino Royale. So again, this is one of the largest casinos at sea. We're going to have a lot of different games in here, as well as tables. Now this is very interesting. It does look like they actually have a small buffet and coffee station here. This might be just for the servers, but that is definitely a change here in the casino. Lots of brand new slot machines, as well as the casino bar. And this is also different. Here at the casino bar, they have like these two different sides. And they've got some lounge chairs over here on this side. This casino is absolutely massive. And they've definitely stepped up the design element in here as well. Has a much more Vegas type of feel. Another massive bar. And then on this side, you do have the host desk as well as the cashier. And then as we enter through these sliding doors out here, this is of course going to be the aft bank of elevators. And then you will have another entrance into the main dining room. So we'll go ahead and take a walk into the main dining room here so you can see what it looks like. You do of course have one of the largest chandeliers here in the dining room as well. But this is a beautiful dining room. So it is again 3 stories, decks 3, 4, and 5. You will find the dining room. Take a look at that giant chandelier. Absolutely beautiful. Just so you can see down into deck 3. And we will walk back out. Now this is the maiden voyage, so you're seeing these beautiful flowers all throughout the ship. And I do love the entrance here. You have these beautiful glass figurines and lights. Just feels a little bit more upscale and elevated. And one other venue here on deck 4 is going to be Izumi. So you are going to have Izumi, which is going to be a sushi restaurant, as well as hibachi. So this will be a restaurant where you can come. This is one of the specialty restaurants, of course, on the ship. You can come here for your hibachi experience as well as your sushi here on deck 4. We're starting our tour of deck 5 here towards the aft, and we are kicking it off here on the jogging track. So the jogging track on this ship is down here on deck 5. There is some of the information for you if you are a jogger. Of course, it does look like 1 lap. It's 2,197 feet or 67 kilometers. So this does wrap around the entirety of deck 5, but we are going to go back inside and check out the Royal Promenade. So coming in right here, you do have a men's bathroom on this side. On the other side of the elevators, you will have a women's bathroom. You of course do have the entrance into the main dining room, so we're just in there down in deck 4, but that is another entrance here. Take a look on your SeaPass card to see where you are located in terms of the main dining room deck, because it should tell you. Now I do have elevators on my left and my right, but we are going to journey into the Royal Promenade. Of course, this is the Royal Promenade, which is found on most of the Royal Caribbean ships. Right away, as soon as we come in here, I do just want to point out that you do have shore excursion desks. So all the way towards the aft, you will have a special place that you can use iPads for shore excursions. Voom, the internet, is located here. So if you're having internet issues, you'll come down here on deck 5, as well as the port and shopping desk. So if you do like to shop, you're going to want to come down here and see the shopping manager. Walking around here, we do have the Bionic Bar. Of course, this is the bar with the robots. So this is especially really cool if you have kiddos. You do order your drink right there on the screen, and then the robot does make your drink right in front of you. So we continue walking around. It's not down here right now, but you do have the Rising Tide Bar. So the Rising Tide Bar is going to be the area where you will have a bar, and it will go between this deck and the Central Park deck. And right across from that, you do have guest services. So if you have any issues while you're on board, you'll check out that there. Moving right along here, we do have some of the shopping. So you are gonna have Regalia. This is going to be the watch version of Regalia. So you'll have a few different Regalia shops here on board. There is jewelry here in the main promenade as well as Central Park. So those will be the 2 areas that you'll be able to find that jewelry. Right across from there, we do have Cafe Promenade. That's going to be your late night and actually all day, 24 hours snack shop. We, of course, if you've watched our tours before, we love the coconut cookies from Cafe Promenade. They are our favorite. Take a look at this old classic Mustang that is here in the Royal Promenade. That's pretty awesome. And right behind that, you do have the next cruise desk. So when you are ready to book that next voyage, that next vacation, you can definitely do it right here. Now, next to the next cruise desk, you will have stairs that will take you up to the photo gallery. We'll head up there eventually, but we're gonna keep making our way down through the Royal Promenade. You have Accessory Place. This is going to be another one of the shops. And then, of course, Sorrento's. You can see Sorrento's is quite a popular place. This is, of course, the free pizza that's included in your cruise fare, also open really late night, and it's delicious. Pizza, appetizers, drinks. You have some Coke freestyle machines over there. Now, here in 2022, we are seeing that they are allowing people to start getting their own drinks again. So when you saw back in 2021, they did have crew members getting the drinks for you. Here in 2022, you are going to be able to get the drinks by yourself. You do have the cask and clipper there. This is, of course, going to be one of the bars on board. This is going to be the pub. So, of course, on all of the different Royal Caribbean ships, you do have an English pub and an Irish pub. This is the pub here aboard the Wonder of the Seas. Now, you do have live music, so you can see the little section or stage right there. And then, of course, you have the full bar here. This pub definitely feels a little bit more open than other ones. Absolutely love it. Walking out of the pub, heading back into the Royal Promenade, you are going to have some shopping kiosks here. So this is going to be, during the cruise, you're going to see these desks fill up with different items, different sales that you can have and purchase while you're on your voyage. Here is Port Merchants. This is going to be the liquor shop on board. So of course this will be liquor. It looks like this is also kind of a general store. They have medicine back there. And of course some munchies, some snacks. Now coming right across from that shop, we have the Royal Shop. This is going to be the brand shop here on the ship. So this is where you're going to be able to buy all of your Wonder of the Seas merch, especially if you're coming on Wonder of the Seas in 2022, you're going to want to check out that inaugural merch. So they have a lot of inaugural merch here on the ship. As we continue to walk down here, we do have the crowning jewel of the Royal Promenade, the cowboy hat. This is a 2-story figurine of a hat. It looks pretty awesome. I don't want to go any further because I do want to show you another shop here. This is Solera Beauty. Now this is going to be the standard beauty shop that you're going to find on a lot of Royal Caribbean ships. This is going to be where you're going to be able to purchase that makeup, the of course perfumes and colognes. If you're a shopper, it's definitely a can't miss shop here on Wonder of the Seas. Now, as we continue walking around, we are going to be passing by Spotlight Karaoke. We're gonna just take a quick peek inside here. Spotlight Karaoke is going to be the karaoke venue here on the ship. This is definitely redesigned from the other Spotlight Karaoke's or on-air bar that we would typically see in this space. The bar is much bigger. They've expanded that. Of course, you do have the stage, lots of screens, pretty perfect for karaoke. Right across from Spotlight Karaoke, we do have Boleros. This is, of course, the Spanish-inspired bar. This is another bar that is found on a lot of different cruise ships, specifically found within the Royal Caribbean fleet. Let's take a quick peek in here. You do have a dance floor. Ooh, I love this wall back here. It's very, very cool. It's nice and light in here, and it's bright. They've brightened up this space quite a bit. Now, as we continue to make our way almost to the end, you do, of course, have Entertainment Place. Entertainment Place is going to be where we just were. All right. Now, as we walk out here, you do, of course, have the stairs that go down to Entertainment Place. We were just there a little bit ago on deck 4. And we are now here in the forward bank of elevators. Now up here on deck 5, you do have the deck 5 entrance to the theater. So we're gonna actually take a look at the theater in here.
Somebody's coming in. Check it out.
Of course, you do have the entrance. So we were just down there a little bit ago. Absolutely beautiful 2-story entrance into the theater.
But there is a woman in yellow right here.
And we'll walk around here so we can see the theater. So you can take a look at the theater. It is absolutely massive. So 2 stories, of course, decks 4 and deck 5. Now, in the last 12 months, these decks have been separated by vaccinated guests and unvaccinated guests. That is no more, of course, now in 2022. Everyone can sit anywhere that they would like. We are coming out of the theater here. I did just want to point out, of course, you do have the forward-facing elevators here. So, of course, you've got elevators that will take you up to your stateroom. And then you do have additional entrances and exits to the running track. So if you do need to get out to the running track, or you wanted to avoid the crowds, as you saw it was pretty crowded in there, you could go out right here. Men's bathrooms and women's bathrooms on either side of the theater, right next to the staircases. And that is deck 5. We have now made it up to the forward of deck 6. So of course, here in the forward bank of elevators, you do have this beautiful overlook of the Royal Promenade. You can see the entire promenade all the way to the back towards the boardwalk there. But we're going to show you what is on the forward of deck 6. And you have a pretty important spot here towards the forward of deck 6, the spa and fitness center. So of course we walk in, and they offer all kinds of services here, from haircuts to massages. You do have the Vitality Cafe here. They're going to have different juices and little light bites. You're going to see a lot of things that you can purchase here in the spa. So of course, if you are wanting to purchase some of the items that are used during your treatment, you can purchase those here. And then you do have the salon. So of course they do haircuts, pedicures, manicures, you name it, the spa can probably make it happen. This is the desk to check in. To the right, you do have the spa portion, and then to the left is the fitness center. So we'll walk over here and check out the fitness center. Now the fitness center is of course one of the largest at sea. I think it is pretty reminiscent of some of the other fitness centers that you see on the Oasis class ships. You have a lot of different elliptical machines and bikes here. As we walk around, you're gonna see weightlifting equipment, as well as a big area for classes. So they do offer classes here in the fitness center, so you can check those out here. Something else that is now open in 2022 is the entrance down into the running track. So of course the running track is on deck 5, and they have an entrance to come directly into the gymnasium here. As we continue to walk around, you see just a lot of different types of equipment. Quite a few weights here. You have some running tracks. And then of course some of those giant windows. So I love that you can sit and work out, take a hike while looking out at the beautiful ocean water. So that is it for the forward of deck 6. We're gonna hop now over to the aft of deck 6 to check out what is over there. So let's go. We are now in the aft bank of elevators on deck 6. So we did just jump across the massive Royal Promenade. Up here on deck 6, there is of course the neighborhood, the boardwalk. But before we get to the boardwalk, there's a few important things to check out. So at the end here, we do have the loyalty desk kind of inside the schooner bar. So if you have questions about your Crown and Anchor status, so for those of you that are, anywhere from gold all the way up to pinnacle, this is going to be one place that you can come and talk to a representative. And then the schooner bar is, of course, one of Royal Caribbean's most popular venues. This is where they do have lots and lots of live piano music as well as trivia. So you're gonna find those types of activities here as well as the bar. They've got some great drinks here in the schooner bar. And you're able to sit up and look out over into the beautiful Royal Promenade. Now, as we walk back around here, I do just want to remind you, today is embarkation day for the maiden voyage of Wonder of the Seas. So that's why things do seem a little bit crowded in spaces, especially more than normal, because people are just coming on and really getting acquainted with the ship for the first time. Now up here on the other side across from Schooner Bar, you are going to have your main shore excursions desk. So we saw a few of the iPads down below in deck 5, but then of course this is a much larger area where you can plan those on-land adventures. And that is right next to the photo gallery. So of course, all of the memories that you make and the pictures that you take while on your vacation can be found up here on deck 6 towards the aft. And then at the very end of the portrait gallery here, you are going to have Picture This, which is going to be the private studio. You can go and get pictures taken, get hooked up with a photographer. Looks like that is the photo studio right there. Now the photo gallery up here does have a lot of different things that you can purchase, including cameras. A lot of people don't realize if you forgot your camera at home, don't worry about it. You can buy one on the ship. But it might be a little bit more expensive than what you would pay at home. All right, let's take a walk here, back towards the aft bank of elevators to the boardwalk. Now, as we're getting into the boardwalk, I do just want to show you this art. Check out these dragons. How cool are those? The art here on board the Wonder is really modern, as it should be. This is a brand new ship. Now, as we're walking into the boardwalk, this is again one of those neighborhoods. They have a neighborhood design here on the ship with 8 different neighborhoods. Now, something that you'll notice right away is how open this walkway is. In the other Oasis class ships, they do have kind of the carousel statues and figurines here in the middle. Those are gone, which I think is a good thing because this tends to be very, very heavily trafficked. You do have the doghouse, so that is going to be your hot dogs and snacks on board. I recommend trying the coleslaw, that's my favorite thing. And then you will have the arcade. Now before we go anywhere though, I do have to just show the carousel. Now this is something Royal Caribbean has put on all of their Oasis class ships. It's such a fun concept to have a carousel on a ship. You can be moving out in the middle of the ocean and be riding a carousel. All right, we're gonna keep walking around here, and we do of course have Playmakers. Playmakers is going to be the sports bar here on board. So this is going to be sports bar, restaurant, bar, viewing area for any of your favorite games, as well as some arcade games. So we'll step inside here and take a look. You have a big bar here in the middle, and you've got seating all the way around. You can see some of the outdoor restaurants there. And then back here you do have some arcade games as well as the owner's box. So that's going to be an area where you will be able to reserve for a larger party. And again, you see these massive screens everywhere. So this is Playmakers. Coming back out here into the boardwalk, you do of course have Sugar Beach. So that's going to be the candy shop on board. Warning, there is sugar inside Sugar Beach. And then I love this, they have a kids brand shop. So this is going to be of course a shop that's going to be a lot more for the kids. Kids wear, kids gear, probably more candy in there, lots more sugar. And as we keep walking here, you do have Johnny Rockets. Again, Johnny Rockets is on a lot of the Royal Caribbean ships. We think that this is one of the best deals in terms of specialty dining. You tend to be able to get a burger, fries, and an app for $10. You pay that $10 and it's all you can eat. They also do serve breakfast in here complimentary, so definitely check that out if you're here. Now you do have the Ultimate Abyss slide. This is the base of the slide. We will eventually get up to deck 16 where you will find the entrance. But before we get up there, I do just want to showcase the Aqua Theater. So this is of course going to be where the aqua shows are going to be found. The aqua show on this ship is called InTENse. It is an all-female aqua show. So that is one of the first times Royal Caribbean has done anything quite like that. The Aqua Theater does look a little bit reminiscent of the others, but maybe with some less colors. It's interesting. They kind of went with less is more on this Aqua Theater. Most of the ship has been more is more, but this is a little bit less is more. But of course you do have giant screens there. And then on either side, you do have the rock climbing walls. So you would get up there by going up the steps right behind the seating area here. And there is 2 rock climbing walls on deck 7. We are now on the forward of deck 8, and we are heading out into Central Park. Again, this is another one of those amazing neighborhoods here on Wonder of the Seas. Of course, this is not new to Wonder of the Seas. You can find this neighborhood on any of the Oasis class ships. But we're walking out here, immediately you do have the seating area, again towards the forward. And then I did want to point out right away that we do have some shops up here. So this is of course the Effie shop. So if you are a shopper and you want to come and get jewelry, you'll come up here to the Effie shop. And you do have the Regalia Fine Jewelry store up here as well. So we make our way around, You got some seating out here. And this is, of course, seating for the cafe up here at Central Park. Now, this is a little bit different. You'll notice that it's very open. Let me get a better view angle of it over here. So they have some open spaces in there. The walls kind of open up. And this is, of course, a casual space where you can come and enjoy Park Cafe. You can get things like salads, sandwiches, a lot of other delicacies there at the cafe. Now, before we go too far, I do want to point out that they do have Giovanni's up here in the Central Park area. So, of course, this is going to be Giovanni's Italian Kitchen and Wine Bar. This is the new Giovanni's that's currently only on Freedom of the Seas and Odyssey of the Seas. I do want to just hop into the wine bar because this did take over Vintages. So this is kind of a brand new venue for the ship. Step in here. And this is definitely very different from the Vintages that we would see on other ships. It is about the same size. They did, like I said, just kind of pull Vintages out and plug the wine bar in here. But then you do have this patio here and nice seating area. So we'll go ahead and just squeeze through here and go back out. And then right next door is going to be Giovanni's, the actual restaurant. So this did take the place of Jamie's and Giovanni's. If you haven't eaten here, it is amazing. We love this restaurant. It is a specialty restaurant, so you do have to pay extra to eat here. But it is well worth every penny that you would spend while you're here on the ship. As we continue to walk around, you'll notice a lot of different furniture out here. So this is a place where you can just come and enjoy a drink. This is a lot more of a relaxing type of vibe up here in the Central Park. And as we continue to walk, you do have the trellis bar. So this is going to be the main bar here in Central Park. Again, delicious drinks, much more of a chill, relaxed vibe. And of course, the crew is wonderful here already. As we continue to walk around, you have a couple more venues, including Chops Grill. Chops Grill is, of course, the steakhouse that you would find on almost all of the Royal Caribbean ships. This is their kind of standard specialty dining restaurant. And then right across from Chops is 150 Central Park. This is our favorite restaurant. Now, we haven't tried delicious food, right? We haven't. Oh, it's amazing. Take a look at the menu there. And it is delicious. If you can get a reservation here at this restaurant, we highly recommend it. It is one of the more high-end restaurants here on the ship, but it is definitely worth your money. See some fun statues over here. And then we're gonna head into the aft bank of elevators. So again, this is the more towards the back side of the ship. Now you do have another venue here that is new. And this is the music hall. And we'll just take a quick look in there. They're having a private function in there, but of course you do have a bar, lots of seating, and then glass that overlooks the boardwalk. The music hall is an awesome venue that currently is on Oasis of the Seas and now Wonder of the Seas, as well as the Quantum class ships. We are now here on the aft of deck 12. Now decks 9 through 14 are a lot of staterooms with a few things kind of squished in between, so we're looking at those things as we go up. But I am obsessed with this elevator lobby because look at this. There's the Queen of Hearts. There is the Mad Hatter's cap. So you have the Wonderland theme spilling out here into the elevator banks, which is so fun. And of course, the over-exaggerated rabbit hole that is the Wonderland specialty restaurant. If you've not been in a Wonderland restaurant before, they're on a lot of the other ships, but Wonderland is awesome. It is imaginative cuisine. You step in through the rabbit hole and through the door, and you're taken on an adventure that's like a culinary adventure. Of course, you do have a bar up here, and then the main seating area with the beautiful purple chandelier. Just take a look down there into the restaurant. It is somewhat reminiscent of the other Wonderlands that we see on some of the other Oasis class ships, but you do sit there and get to look over the boardwalk as you're enjoying your multi-course dinner. Highly recommend that you come check out Wonderland when you are in Wonder of the Seas, and you can come here and just grab a specialty drink as well. They do have a lot of different types of drinks, and they are absolutely delicious. We're now up here on the aft of deck 14, and there is just one venue up here on 14, especially towards the back, and that is the card room. So of course the card room is going to be kind of a social area where you can come in, play cards, hang out, and of course you can see they've redesigned this room to have a lot more color and a lot of comfortable furniture. You can see over there they've got chess and checkers tables. And that's the only thing that's over here on this side of deck 14, but we're gonna hop over towards the forward because that's where the kids club is. So we'll head over there now. All right, we are up here towards the forward of deck 14, and of course up here you do have Adventure Ocean. I do like that they have this screen right outside here that gives the ages for the different clubs. So of course you have the babies, 6 to 36 months, juniors, which are 3 to 5 years, and then back here you're gonna have the play place, the theater, the workshop, and Adventure Ocean Kids, which are 6 to 12. So let's take a look inside here. I love the colors as we're going inside. Now they do have AO Kids right over here, of course, immediately on the right. So of course this is going to be the main club for the 6 to 12 year olds. So in the other Oasis class ships, you can walk all the way around. This one looks like it is a huge open space. Of course you got the big projector and screen in there. And as we walk around to the other side, you're gonna have, of course, the nursery in here, which is the baby's room. This is gonna be the workshop. So lots of fun and cool activities here. It's also really cool that there's a lot of just glass ceiling to wall glass windows. The play place looks like a jungle gym in there, literally. And at the end, we do have AO Juniors, and this is going to be, of course, for 3 to 5 year olds. Hello! And then you do have the theater. This is awesome. They've got a stage there with a massive screen and all of these fun cushions to sit on. Then, of course, they do have some of those tables that we saw on Odyssey of the Seas that are interactive touchscreens. And then, of course, they've got some video game systems right here as well. Who doesn't love that? So that is Adventure Ocean here on deck 14. We have now made it up to deck 15, one of the most exciting decks here aboard the Wonder. And right away, we are checking out the Mason Jar. This is their brand new restaurant, brand new to Royal Caribbean. It is a southern restaurant and bar. Not only do they do dinner, they also have brunch. So we come in here right away and check out the massive bar. I absolutely love the theming of this. It reminds me a lot of Magnolia Farms, if you know that brand. Really just comfortable. You feel like you're honestly at your grandma's house. That is the feeling that they have given us here in the Mason Jar. The menu looks amazing, and the drink menu also looks phenomenal. They have peach moonshine, blueberry moonshine, as well as a host of other drinks that are absolutely delicious. So come check out the Mason Jar when you're here on Wonder of the Seas. Coming out of the Mason Jar, we are going to pop right here into the Windjammer. Of course, the Windjammer is the buffet that is here on board Wonder of the Seas. You do have, of course, the hand washing stations here before you get into the buffet center. They've redesigned this Windjammer, and it does look very different. You've got this nice, large, open space. Of course, the hand washing stations. And then you do have a lot of different food options. So bread, some nice carbs as soon as you get on here. And then, of course, it is both embarkation day and maiden voyage day. So this is the first voyage for the Wonder of the Seas. Check out how open this is. So on both sides here, you do have food stations. And the other thing that I love about this space is there is just windows and light everywhere. So again, lots of different food stations, and it does wrap around. So you can kind of see the windows here to my right are all open. You have freestyle machines right here, and then more seating towards the back of the Windjammer. So we haven't seen a Windjammer look quite like this before on a Royal Caribbean ship. It's different, it's more open. I actually really like it. And coming back here on the other side, this side does mirror the other side. So you're gonna have all of the same types of food and drink stations over here. And of course, now in 2022, you can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the Windjammer. So it looks like they have a whole seafood station as well. Yum. A pasta bar. It does feel a little bit more like a restaurant in here than your standard buffet. I will say that. Here is, of course, the Windjammer bar. So if you do want to enjoy an alcoholic beverage with your meal, you can do that. You can actually get that right away before you go into the main buffet area. Okay, coming out of the Windjammer, we are going to head out onto the pool deck. And again, this is the largest pool deck at sea. So there are 4 different pools out here on the pool area. Of course, you do have the 3 main pools as well as the kids area. So let's check out this first pool here. This is, of course, going to be the beach pool. So this pool is supposed to imitate more like a beach. But I love the fun colors. You do have, of course, stairs to get upstairs. And y'all, it's embarkation day, so there's a lot of fun going on. A lot of music. Now, something that I do want to show is that they do have a seating area over here with the largest screen at sea. So you can see the screen. You can watch that screen from the pool, or of course, from the padded chairs up here. You have another pool right across from this one. Rounding the corner here from the giant movie screen is, of course, the Lime and Coconut. Now, this is the new bar venue that we're seeing pop up on the brand new Royal Caribbean ships. I do want to swing my camera around and just show you this hallway with, again, all of the glass. The floor to ceiling glass is everywhere on the ship. You've got the colorful furniture, a lot of the beautiful, beautiful views, of course, from this area of the ship. So we walk out here, you do have a towel station. And then this is the splash pads. This is going to be the kids zone, the place where you can bring the kiddos to have a lot of fun. Now, another change on this ship from the other Oasis class ships is the ice cream. So you do have ice cream here in between the pools as we are moving towards the forward. So this is Sprinkles. It's kind of like a chain of Sprinkles ice cream. So if you want to come up and get some ice cream, this is going to be a place to do it, deck 15, and then you do have another pool. So again, three large pools plus the splash pad equal 4 kind of aqua areas up here on the pool deck. You have hot tubs scattered around as well. And then you do have another lime and coconut bar on the other side. So there's a lime and coconut bar on each side of Sprinkles. What's better, drinks with ice cream smushed in between? I love it. Another towel station on this side here. I mean, these pool decks are absolutely massive. And then as we walk around, you can get a great view of the water slides. So you do have 3 water slides up there. Of course, 2 of your more traditional water slides. And then the giant round, I don't know, people like to call it the toilet bowl. That's not the actual name of it though. But those water slides are called the Perfect Storm. And of course, we've seen the Perfect Storm on a lot of different other ships. And the entrance to the water slides is right over here. Now you do have an entrance to get inside into the elevator banks. We are more towards the forward elevator banks now. But I did just want to come over here and show you the signs. Here you have the height as well as weight requirements for the water slides. So pay attention to those before you climb up the multi-story stairs, just to ensure that you or your kiddos are able to go on those. Now, we did not walk past it, but back past here, past the slides, past the kids area, you are going to have a smoking section up here on the deck. And then as we continue to walk forward, we do have another brand new venue to the Royal Caribbean group. This is the Vue Bar. Of course, the crowning jewel of the Vue Bar is this canopy here. So you can sit under the colorful canopy and enjoy a drink. And just look at the views that you get from here. It is absolutely beautiful. It is a little bit windy, but this is found right outside of the solarium. The solarium is the adults only part of the pool. This is of course for 16 and up. As we are walking in here, you will have another pool that is again more of an adults pool, a couple of whirlpools, so some hot tubs, and a bar. So we're walking past, of course, the towel station right here. So you can get towels in here if you need to. I just love the openness of the solarium. It is nice and tall and open. It just feels new. You know, it has that new feel. And of course, it is the maiden voyage, so it better feel new. You have a hot tub right here, as well as elephant number 2 that we found here on the ship so far. And then right in the middle of the solarium, you do have the bar. Take a look at how open this is. This is very different from what we've seen on the other solariums that have been just a little bit smaller and a little bit more chopped up. So the solarium bar is right there. And then of course you do have another grass statue, the giraffe, right next to the second hot tub up here. What we're gonna do is we are gonna just take a walk down to see the other levels of the solarium. So as we continue to walk down here, you do have almost these smaller tiers with chairs. Really beautiful, very comfortable high-end seating. And then check this out. Now the entrance to the pool was up there. We walked right past it, but you've got 2 different levels here on the solarium of day loungers in the water that are like submerged and soaked down in the water. Now, I will say one concern I have right away is the size of this pool. The pool looks really small. It does look reminiscent to the pool that we saw on Symphony of the Seas, but I do question for a ship that holds 7,000 people, if the ship is a bit too small. Now, one of the hidden spots that a lot of people don't know about on the Oasis class ships, it's not on all of them, but you do have it here on Wonder, is the wings. So this of course sets up above the mast. It does get quite windy out there, so we're not gonna go out there right now, but this is of course gonna be a platform you can go watch sail away, enjoy, catch beautiful views of the ocean as you're here on the Wonder of the Seas. Just pan a little bit more so you can see down here, this is the very, very front section of the solarium, which does set all the way in the forward of the ship. And then we're gonna head back up here. Just walk around to the other side. And then there is another venue on the inside that I do want to point out. So we'll just walk here around the bar. Now keep in mind, I haven't said this yet, but if you do have Diamond or Diamond Plus or Pinnacle status, you get free drinks each day on your cruise. It is a huge savings, especially if you opt out of buying the drink package, just to get your 4 or 5 free drinks each day. It is 4 if you're Diamond, 5 if you're Diamond Plus and up. And as we continue to walk here, you do have another whirlpool here in the solarium. And take a look at this. These are like infinity whirlpools. They sit right up to the glass. There's 2 of them, and of course, you do have TV screens as well. Absolutely beautiful. And as we walk back inside, we're gonna have, of course, the forward bank of elevators. as well as Solarium Bistro. Solarium Bistro is technically a specialty restaurant, but it is a free specialty restaurant. You do have to have reservations to eat here. They serve lunch and they serve dinner. You of course have your hand washing stations right here, and then yeah. So you had your hand washing stations back there, and then you do have, of course, the dining room. So they do buffet style food in here, and it is really good. A lot of times it's small bites and a lot more Mediterranean inspired. So you're gonna have more Mediterranean inspired dishes. Of course, you do have the glass walls over there that you will just sit out and look over the solarium. We are now on the forward of deck 16. So we just came up one deck from the Solarium Bistro down there. And up above the Solarium Bistro sits another specialty restaurant called Hooked. Now this is one of my absolute favorite specialty restaurants, and I don't like seafood that much. It's just that good. So let's walk in here and take a look at Hooked. Again, this is one of the most beautiful restaurants. You can sit up here and you can just watch amazing, amazing views of the ocean. Of course, you can see you've got the solarium all there. But this is your seafood inspired, kind of New England inspired restaurant. Highly recommend it. If you come here, I'd recommend the crab cakes. They are to die for. We are now going to take a walk outside. So of course this is like the upper deck of the pool deck. No pools up here, but you will definitely find some hot tubs. So right out here you do have a seating area. You can kind of sit up above the solarium. As we continue to walk around, you'll notice these cabanas that are for rent. So of course you can rent these cabanas. I personally don't do it just because they're not very close to the pool. I mean, they are, but they're not, you know what I mean? They kind of sit up here. I guess if you had kiddos, you could order those, hang out there while your kids have a blast at the splash pad. Okay, now here, if you watched one of my other videos, I said I was really looking forward to the architecture of this particular deck. You have these giant curves. It looks so modern, and they've just done a really good job designing these parts of the ship, especially the upper deck. Here's the deck 16 lime and coconut bar. So this is lime and coconut bar number 3. They've got lots and lots of delicious beverages here. Honestly, if you've not had a drink at the lime and coconut before, I highly recommend you check this out. And of course, you can have your drink and hang out up here on the upper deck. Just past the lime and coconut bar, you do have, again, the viewing area for the largest movie screen at sea. It's a view of that. And then this awesome tiered viewing area. Not only do you have that, you have the infinity hot tub right here. I'm gonna give you another view of that, but the infinity hot tub does sit up above the pool deck. You can kind of see it protruding out above the pool. Another great place to sit and watch movies. And then up here on the left, you do have the entrance into the aft bank of elevators. So if you did want to catch the elevator down, you could head in there, but we're going to keep walking around back to the sports zone. Now we're popping inside really quick to check out Social 100. This is of course the teen club here aboard the Wonder of the Seas. Check out this entrance. This is pretty awesome. Gone are the days of boring teen clubs. This is the teen club here. I love the colors, just the theming of this and all the comfortable furniture. It definitely looks really awesome. And they get their own deck too, which is even cooler. You have a vending machine in there. And right across from the teen club, you do have these shop kiosks. So you can come in here, they've got games, different toiletry needs that you might have, right in here up on deck 16 as we're walking towards the aft. So we're gonna keep walking this way towards the back. And a lot of times people miss this, but towards the back here, they do have ping pong tables. Something that I love that they did here was they enclosed them. So you can kind of see they're partially enclosed. And that really helps with wind, because as we get back here, you might notice it does get quite windy. You have, of course, the basketball court here, which is absolutely massive. And as we walk back here, there's gonna be a lot more fun. This is where the flow rider sits. Now, a big change on this ship is only one flow rider. So the other Oasis class ships did have two. The brand new Playscape, which we'll get to in just a couple of minutes, did replace the second flow rider, but you can see the flow rider right here. It does have that viewing area right there. This flow rider is massive. Walking behind the flow rider is, of course, the entrance to the Great Abyss. This is the largest slide currently at sea. A lot of the cruise lines, I think MSC is trying to beat it out. But right now, the largest slide at sea is right here. And then you do have the wipeout bar. This is gonna be another bar where you can enjoy a beverage and watch people wipe out on the flow rider. Thank you. And then, of course, we do have the brand new Playscape. So let's walk up these steps. It's quite windy out here. Now the Playscape does go down between decks 16 and deck 15, but up here on deck 16, you do have Adventure Dunes. Of course, this is Royal Caribbean's miniature golf. They have stepped it up here with miniature golf. Is that a Pinocchio theme? It kind of reminds me of the whale from Pinocchio. I love, love, love the theming here. Of course, they do have the octopus. And lots of fun to be had here at Adventure Dunes. Up here behind Adventure Dunes, you do have the entrance into one of the wave slides. So this slide does go down to deck 15. You have another slide right here with an octopus. This is pretty fun. And then we will just head down the stairs right here to check the rest of the Playscape out. So they do have climbing nets as well, which is really cool, but there is an age restriction. They recommend it for ages 8 to 12. And then check out the giant waves. How cool are these? So the Playscape area it's not very big. It is pretty small. So you got two slides, you have some nets to climb on. Of course, above you do have the, I would say, enhanced miniature golf. And then little nooks for the kiddos to hang out in there. So it's fun. We'll head right back up these steps here. Now, as we continue to walk around Adventure Dunes, we are going to make our way into El Loco Fresh. Right next to El Loco Fresh, though, is another brand new bar venue for Royal Caribbean called Cantina Fresca. And this is another one of the over 20 bars on board. I love that they put this bar right next to El Loco Fresh, because you can get your tacos, nachos, and other food with your michelada, sangria, and of course, a plethora of margaritas. It is a margarita bar. So you do have all of your food options here. So a long bar of tacos, burritos, nachos, you name it, El Loco Fresh probably has it. And as we walk back around towards deck 16, you do have the arcade. Let's go in here and check the arcade out. This arcade is definitely lit. They have so many fun games. I know that there's quite a few people watching that do visit the arcade, so let me know what you think of the arcade here. Now, the arcade is found in two different places. You have games, of course, here on deck 16 and down on deck 6 in Playmakers. So a couple of places that you can find arcade games and a lot of fun. And now, of course, we are back out here on deck 16. So this is, again, the upper pool deck, lots of sun loungers, lots of places to grab a drink, soak in the sun, and catch the views of the pools. We are now on deck 17, and deck 17 does house the suites, so this is kind of the suite neighborhood of the ship. You do have Coastal Kitchen as well as the suite lounge up here on deck 17. Of course, Coastal Kitchen is going to be the restaurant that will be reserved for the suites, and the suite lounge is a bar and lounge area, also reserved for those in suite cabins. Wow, it's a pretty impressive ship, huh? Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. We are so grateful that you made it to the end of the video. When are you going on Wonder of the Seas? Let us know in the comments, and until next time, see ya!